It's absolutely shocking how many divers are unable to navigate on their own. And I used to be the same, blindly trusting the local guide. But what happens when you have to find your own way? Suddenly, you're lost, and that can feel very scary. But as someone who has dived all over the world, I want to help you avoid that situation. In this video, I'll break down the key concepts of underwater navigation so you can confidently find your way back to the boat or the shore and focus on the enjoyment of diving. Getting disoriented underwater is more common than you think, and it can have serious consequences. Without clear and familiar reference points, it's easy to get confused, and it might affect your ability to find your way back safely. Disorientation can lead to panic, increased air consumption, or even surfacing far from your planned exit point. In areas with strong currents or boat traffic, these mistakes can be life-threatening. But here's the good news. Nature provides built-in navigation tools if you know how to read them. The underwater world is like a giant 3D map. The sun's position, even when filtered through the water, can serve as your guide. Currents, the shape and gradients of the seafloor, and unique landmarks all around you help keep you oriented. Even marine life can give you clues of where you are. Many coral species grow facing the predominant current, and schools of fish tend to swim against it. Some species, like whip coral, only grow in areas that can have a lot of current. By paying attention to these signs, you can maintain a sense of direction without relying on a dive computer. Next time you dive, take a few moments to scan your surroundings. Check the sun, the current, and distinctive features around the dive site. As you explore, keep mental notes on those reference points to track your movement. Over time, you'll develop a natural underwater sense of direction, your very own invisible compass. Try building a mental map of your surroundings as you dive. Pay attention to where you are in relation to the surface and underwater features, and piece everything together as you go. The more you practice, the better you'll get at understanding where things are and how far you've moved. These natural navigation techniques are the foundation of your underwater orientation. They're your invisible compass, always there, even when technology might fail you. Most dive groups will also hold a briefing before the dive, where they discuss the site's geography. This is a great opportunity to familiarize yourself with the area before getting in the water. It might take some practice, but try using these techniques on your next dive and watch your situational awareness improve. The key is to look to nature to give you some clues and whereabouts on your location on the dive at all times. While natural navigation techniques is a great skill to improve, nothing beats a good compass for staying on course. The problem? Most divers don't really know how to use one properly. Your dive buddy hands you a compass. Now what? This little tool can be a game changer, but only if you know how to use it in the right way. Your compass helps you stay on course by pointing you to the right direction. Just make sure to set it before entering the water so it guides you properly during the dive. First, let's go over the basics. The surface of the compass, the part you look at from above, is called the card. It shows north, south, east, and west, along with degree markings in between. As you move, the card spins to show you're heading. Around the perimeter of the compass is the bezel, and it can move. It will have arrows or notches on the side of it with a single or double line running through the card area called the lubber line. You can see this one here. The lubber line is what you will use to keep you on track in terms of direction. If you hold the compass up and look into it, from this side, you will find you are looking through what is called the window. You can use the window while moving, as is more comfortable to look at frequently than the card. At the start of your dive, you will look at your reference point on the surface. This could be your boat, an island, the shore, anything you want, mainly to keep track of and get back to. Then you'll move the bezel to adjust the lubber line to point at the thing you want to keep track of. You can then look at the degree of this and use the side window for easier navigation in the direction while using the lubber line in the marker of where you should go. To go in reverse, you subtract or add 180 from your degree, wrapping at 360. Sounds complicated, I know, but just trust me, if you're at 180, you're going to be looking at 360 or 0. If you're at 90, you're looking at 270. If you're at 270, you're looking at 90. The opposite direction of the lubber line, which often has a marker on the other hand, so you can keep that handy. To ensure accurate readings with the compass, follow these steps. 1. Hold the compass level horizontally and steady in front of you. Ensure the card moves freely. For wrist-mounted compasses, use your non-mounted hand to point in the desired direction. With a console-mounted compass, orient the console correctly for a free card movement. Regardless of if your compass is handheld or mounted on a gauge or wrist-oriented, operation should be the same. But I often prefer the most convenient to keep my eye on during the dive is the wrist option, since it is always in eyesight. One important rule, only one person in the dive group should be leading with their compass. Small inaccuracies in different compasses and position can cause confusion if multiple people are navigating. That said, in case of separation, everyone should still have one as a backup. And one more tip, watch out for metal structures like wrecks, since they can throw off your compass readings. If that happens, swim a short distance away before taking another reading of your compass. The compass is one of the most valuable tools in your dive kit. Once you get the hang of it, navigation becomes much easier. But mastering the compass is just one piece of the puzzle. There are still a few more tricks to becoming a true underwater navigation pro. Even experienced divers can get thrown off by underwater currents. These hidden highways can push you off course if you're not paying enough attention. But if you learn to work with them, they can actually make your dive easier. Have you ever felt like you're swimming straight, but somehow drifting sideways? That's current at work. Instead of fighting it, you can use it to your advantage. This is called drift diving. It's like hopping on an underwater conveyor belt and letting it carry you along a planned route. So how do you figure out where the current is going? Before the dive, stick your head in the water and look at the dive site. Look how the fish are swimming. Look how the debris floats or how the seagrass bends. These little signs give you valuable clues about the water's movement. Once you know which way the current is moving, it's crucial to coordinate with your boat crew before you dive, and it's necessary to understand the underwater terrain so that the boat crew knows where to find you. A good diver always communicates their plan because unexpected or unplanned drift dives can lead to lost divers, and you don't want to be a lost diver. Use your lubber lines to mark the location of where the boat will pick you up to ensure you stay on course throughout the dive. Look for landmarks on the surface or underwater, things like rock formations, coral patches, or whatever you can memorize. These will serve as your points of reference during your dive, making it easier to stay on track and locate your exit. As you navigate, stay aware of both your compass and your surroundings. Don't get fixated on the compass alone. Balancing with natural reference points will get you a much better sense of where you are. If you can identify 3 distinct reference points, you can roughly triangulate your position. Even without a map, this technique helps you understand where you are in relationship of those triangulated landmarks. It won't always be possible, but when it is, it makes navigation much easier. Outside of drift diving, even if it feels counterintuitive, swimming at an angle against the current can help you stay on course without exhausting yourself. Think of it like cutting across the flow rather than pushing straight through. If you lose the dive site and can't find your reference points, deploy your DSMB immediately to signal your boat and start a safe exit. Now you've got currents figured out, but what happens when visibility drops to 0? Picture this, you're exploring a beautiful dive site when suddenly the water turns murky and you can barely see your hand in front of your face. Now all you have left are your senses of touch and hearing. This is where many divers panic, but you don't have to. First, stick close to your dive buddy. They're your lifeline in low visibility. Use a buddy line or maintain close physical contact or proximity to avoid getting separated, and communicate often using established hand signals and light flashes. If things get too tricky, it's best to abort the dive immediately. Next, listen. Sound travels fast and far underwater. The hum of a boat engine, the crash of waves, or even distant marine life can help orient yourself. Utilize the compass's lubber lines to keep your heading on track and deploy a DSMB if necessary to abort the dive. If you're planning to enter an area with low visibility, set up a guideline from your spool or reel at your entry point and gradually release it as you go. And just note, if you have a DSMB with you, you can usually use the spool or reel that comes with your DSMB for this purpose. This gives you a clear path back as you can follow the line directly out. Just keep in mind that guideline techniques are mainly for cave and wreck diving, which require special training, so don't attempt them without the right experience. Underwater navigation is a skill that gets better every time you dive, but if you never practice, it won't improve. So next time you dive, grab that compass and put your skills to the test. Even if you're not leading the dive, you can still put these skills to use. And just practice quietly, looking around you, understanding the landmarks, and checking your compass lubber line and seeing if you're staying on course or if you think you're staying on course throughout the dive. Think of each dive as a chance to train. Set small navigation challenges like following a reef's edge or sticking to a set compass heading. After surfacing, you can check how close you were to your planned exit using a map or GPS. The more you do this, the sharper your skills become. As you get better, you'll feel more confident exploring new sites, knowing you can always find your way back. Navigation may seem like a simple skill, but it ties together many key scuba techniques: situational awareness, planning, and buoyancy control. Click over here to watch a video series dedicated to improving all of these skills. Until next time.